Hey y'all, I'm Ali. Welcome to Little Hill Homestead. I actually started this video and I forgot my own intro, and I think I've said it probably 500 times, so that was an interesting moment. Anyways, welcome to Little Hill Homestead, where you never know what you're going to get, and if you don't like rants or long-winded nonsense, this is probably not the channel for you. Let me just start there. So today, okay, this is all the rage right now. Everybody's making cranberry juice. It's because it's cranberry season. You can get cranberries really cheap. And I'm part of the people that cause this problem because we make all of our cranberry juice for the year right now when you can get cranberries for not a lot of money. So today I'm going to show you how to make a batch. We make 7 jars at a time because it's what fits in our canner. I'm making 7 jars. This usually lasts us a year. It's been 2 years since I've made cranberry juice, and last year we made wassail. Wassail is basically a cranberry juice with apples and oranges and cinnamon. We have that on our channel, but I wanted to show you kind of where we end up. Basically, it's kind of the same thing. So right now at Aldi, which is our local grocery store to us in Georgia, in the US, you can get cranberries like this, and a lot of places will start to carry them more and more as we get closer to Thanksgiving. 12-ounce bag, 99 cents. Right now, not Trader Joe's, Costco, you can get a 2-pound bag for $4, which is the same price. So if you have a Costco membership, you can get it there too. I think the Costco ones were actually organic. These are not, but I got these because it's where I was today. How do you make cranberry juice? Are you ready for this? You need 7 quart jars, 4 bags of cranberries, and sugar and water. That's it. This needs to sit for 4 to 6 weeks once we do this process to kind of infuse. So it won't be ready until closer to Christmas, but hey, it's ready for Christmas cocktails and the new year, right? So the first thing you need in each of our 7 quart jars, we're going to put a half of a cup of regular old sugar. So I'm just going to put half a cup. You can do a lower amount. You need at least 1/3 of a cup. I would not recommend doing straight with no sugar. To get the juices to draw out of the cranberries, you need some sugar. I like to do half a cup. To us, that's kind of a good amount. It tastes a little more like commercial. If you go less, it's not going to be as sweet, and it's going to be a whole lot more zingy, like cranberry, if that makes any sense. We've just done it a couple times, and this is the ratio that we prefer. So I have a half a cup of sugar in each one. The next thing you need is some hot water. Number one thing people do is they add their cranberries next, and they don't dissolve the sugar. You need to dissolve your sugar. So I have my kettle. I'm going to just add a little bit of water into each of our jars to help us dissolve this sugar so you don't end up with a clump at the bottom. You really want that sugar to be up in with your cranberries so that it draws the juices out of those cranberries and makes them pop. I do have behind me on the stove, my water bath canner is starting to warm up because you do water bath can these. And I do have a big pot of hot water going as well so that we can fill these the rest of the way. Did everybody get enough water to make it so we can give them a stir? It looks that way. So I just go through each one. You're going to end up with a little sugar dissolved, not dissolved, but we're going to do our best here, you guys. If you see sugar at the bottom when we're done, it's not the end of the world. It's still going to be delicious, so we're good. So this year we're doing cranberry because I have jars of wassail left over from last year that we haven't quite gotten to. The wassail is great mixed with ginger ale as we're approaching like this time of year. You can also use it with, what have we mixed it with? Some people mix it with wine. You can mix it with a little bit of bourbon. You can heat it up and do like a warm cocktail with it. I like it with just some Sprite or ginger ale. That's my favorite. But that version, the wassail, is cranberry, apple, it's got oranges, it has cinnamon sticks, it's spicy. This is not going to be that. So if you're looking for that, I will try to remember to link the video for you guys. There's a little more in these ones. Go back. If you guys are not canners, if you haven't tried canning yet, this is a good one to get started on because it's pretty dang simple. As long as you like cranberry juice, I guess, would be the thing. I don't go through a ton of cranberry juice. There's other ways that you can make this as well. If you want like a more pungent cranberry juice, you can, like we did the cranberry sauce where we boiled them and they popped. You can do that and then strain it through like a big strainer and get just juice in these. I prefer this method because it's easy. So the next thing you need is each one of our jars is going to get 1.5 to 1 3/4 of cranberries. Going in like that. I wouldn't do larger jars than these, and it will strain off and you'll have plenty of juice. But if you want to do a double batch or whatever, I mean, this whole thing's costing us $4 because we had the sugar and the cranberries were, I spent $4 on cranberries. We'll see where we end up on cranberries. If I end up with a lot of cranberries left, then I'll do a couple more jars. But I don't like to have to run my canner with like 2 jars in it. I think that's kind of pointless. Okay, I'm gonna go back because I ended up with extra cranberries. Or maybe I'll just make a recipe with our other cranberries. We'll see. I have some backup. By the way, I rinsed these really well. Pick out anything that looks like it's kind of mushy looking. I'm gonna go in with just a few more cranberries in each one because I have some extra. Simple, right? I like this one because it's an easy recipe. I'm all about ease. We're having a kitchen day today, so I have like a million projects going on all at the same time. I like to self-torture myself, and that's the way I do it, is like overextending myself in the kitchen. Who else does that? Shawn was like, do you need help with anything? And I was like, I mean, it's fine. I'm just in between things. I just turn on some good music and I'm good to go. Okay, so our 4 bags, I've just split up between all of those. We're good. I'm going to get my hot water. It's just starting to boil. Let me pull that up here. And I have this pretty full because I never know how much we're actually going to need. Canning is like weird because you kind of don't know once you get stuff in there how much liquid you're actually going to need. You can guesstimate, but I'm always wrong. So you're going to top them off with hot water until you get to your little headspace at the top. I usually do it with like a 1-inch headspace. That's kind of where I end up. Now you don't really need to debubble these or anything. They're kind of, I mean, cranberries kind of have air in them anyways. I give them a little tap and I'll let them sit here for a minute to kind of do their thing. But I kind of do this. That's how I debubble when it comes to cranberries. I mean, you're going to have air. It's just part of it. It's not like when you can add things and you have to use a chopstick and stuff to get the air out. This is kind of just really a lot of liquid. I'm cooking a turkey in the oven and it keeps hissing and it keeps scaring me because I'm like, what is happening with this turkey? We got a turkey breast from Butcher Box and I'm trying to get it cooked before it went bad. I need the freezer space. So we're going to make lunch meat out of that, which we do all the time anyways. We don't really eat commercial lunch meat. There's stuff in it that we don't, it's been proven to cause issues. So we try not to do that. So we have that going. What else are we doing? I have a cranberry jalapeno jam that I'm going to show you guys. And then I'm dehydrating a bunch of stuff outside. I have an apple pie in the works to show you guys how we make our world famous apple pie because we have a special recipe that's very different from anything you've probably heard of before. It's called upside down apple pie. You put brown sugar, butter, and pecans into the pan before you build your apple pie. And then as soon as it comes out of the oven, you flip it over and it has caramel that oozes all over the place. It's phenomenal. And I have some Azure apples left from last month I need to get used up. So we're going to show you guys how to make that. Lots going on, y'all. I'm going to need some extra caffeine and probably some ibuprofen before bed. Now they're going to pop up above the line as they're sitting. Do you see how they're rising up? That's totally normal, you guys. It's not a big deal. I would put a little more water in some of these as they do that because our water is kind of depleted down below the line. Now that the air is coming out and stuff, just top them off a little bit to get back to that 1-inch headspace. Can you guys hear my turkey? It's like hissing. I don't understand, like popping. I did put butter on it. That's probably what we're hearing, but I just realized I didn't tap these ones yet. If you don't want to use hot hands, hot water, you can use a chopstick and do it that route too, by the way. Just get to your 1-inch headspace on these guys. Boom, we're done. So I have my vinegar pump right here. I really didn't get much on the lid other than water, but I just like to be sure in case any sugar got on that rim or anything. So I'm just doing a quick job because I don't think anything got on that top. These are gonna pop and go back down under the water, so I'm not worried about it. You're gonna fingertip tight these, which basically the way I do fingertip tight is, can you see it? Can you see it here? I basically do it until the jar starts to spin, and then I'll grab it and do like a 1/6 of a turn more. That's it. So let me show you on one more. See how the weight holds the jar down? So I can spin this. Once it starts to spin, grab it and do like a little turn. That's what I call fingertip tight. You'll learn it as you're doing more and more canning, what fingertip tight is, but do not tighten them all the way down. You need that air to come out as they're doing their thing. So that is it. Our canner, I can hear it working, so it'll be ready in just a second. We're gonna drop these in. These are gonna get a water bath canned. So you're gonna basically, there's water going. You wanna make sure that there's about 1.5 to 2 inches of water that covers your full jar once you put them in there. You're gonna water bath can these for 25 minutes. Then you're gonna turn the heat off. I wait like 5 more minutes before I pull them out. I'll show you what they look like when they come out. They won't look too much different than this because the chemical reaction or whatever happens with the cranberries and the sugar hasn't really happened yet to make juice. So they're gonna look a lot like this. And then over the next 4 to 6 weeks, as they're sitting on your shelf, you'll go by maybe once a week and kind of flip them around to kind of like move the liquid in there. And they will slowly darken into a beautiful dark cranberry like this. That's what's gonna happen. It just takes some time. If you're looking for the faster method, do the other one where you boil the cranberries in water and get them to pop, and then you use a strainer to extrude the juice out. This is just so easy, you guys. Like, hands off, I'm done, right? So I'm gonna put in my water bath canner once it comes to temperature. 25 minutes, we'll be back. Cool? Cool. I'm trying to think if there's any other fruit you could add to this. I mean, we do wassail, so I don't need anything else in my life. I'm ready for some just like straight cranberry. Fresh cranberry juice. It's really good, you guys. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, guys, our water bath canning of our cranberry juice is now finished. And I wanted to show you, I only pulled out one because they're going to siphon it if I pull them out any sooner. But I wanted to show you while it does what it does. This is what it does. It's separated. Do you see the sugar water kind of sitting at the bottom? And the cranberries are slowly starting to infuse into that liquid. So I put it on the shelf like that. And like I was saying, for the next 4 to 6 weeks, you go by about once a week and give it a shake. And eventually the whole thing will just be this gorgeous red color. So that is how we make our homemade cranberry juice. It scared me. My summer hat is hanging. I thought there was somebody else on my door. Anyways, that's how we make our homemade cranberry juice from scratch. And I'm going to let the other sit for maybe 10 minutes in the water to kind of come down on temperature, and then I'll pull those ones out, and that'll stop that siphoning from happening. But I get excited, you guys, and then I have to show you, and it's a whole thing. Plus, if I pull them out much later, you won't get to see this cool reaction that happens. Anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. Have a great day.